Hi there everybody. I've got a little bit of bad news. My recording software failed to record our completion of this area and us defeating the boss. It's a little bit frustrating. I am obviously going to show the route that I went, just so you can kind of see where it is that we've been and what we're going to be doing and what we've got from where. But because this is Dark Souls, obviously I can't kind of replay the area, so I'm just going to have to kind of explain what we did and what happens in each area. So first off, we went over this way, then this side of the fire, and went up the ladder. Quite a few. So up the ladder we go. Now, bonfire in here, which I've already visited, but we'll get to that in a second. You're going to want to come around to the right hand side, up the steps. Now, forget about that for a moment. Over around this way, you're going to find a crystal lizard. You're going to want to try and angle to the right hand side to get him stuck on this corner. Let's take that out. Next, you'll see this. Now, before you hit this will be an illusionary wall, so hit that and it will reveal this secret. It wasn't a particularly useful item, but it's just worth making sure that you get everything. Obviously then feel free to rest at the bonfire, and then head on up the lift. Okay, so you're going to come out onto this platform, head up the steps, and you're going to see a big demon walking around on the left hand side. Now, don't go over there straight away. First off, we're going to go to the right. The wall is kind of crumbled over here at the end, and you're going to drop off this. This is going to take us to a little bit of a hidden area. Now, the stuff over here isn't essential, but it is worth, obviously, again, just making sure that you pick everything up. Okay, so you're going to come along here, over onto this broken part of wall. Over this way, you're going to see two crystal lizards. Now, you're going to want to start out slightly on the left to make the first one kind of corner itself over this way. By the time you've killed this one, the other one will have triggered and will be over here somewhere. Once you've taken care of the two crystal lizards, feel free to pick up the items. I can't remember what they were. I think this was a shield, and this one might have been an ember or a soul item. After you've done that, you want to head on up this side. Now be careful, there is a crystal lizard going to be up here. You want to try and get after that as quickly as you can. But be careful because this is an ambush, so they are going to try and mob you. Now if you want to fight and take them all out, feel free to, but there's not really any need, there's not really any kind of requirement to be killing them all. After that, you're going to want to drop down here. Give it a couple of minutes soak period, make sure none of them are following you, and then go on and face this demon over here, which is called the Stray Demon. He's not particularly difficult to defeat. Just kind of try and stay on the rear side of him and take his. Also, I forgot to take the ember here. There's a couple of. There'll be two embers. I don't know, maybe even more. But yeah, there's a few items on these corpses. Just try and stay near his tail. His attacks are quite slow, and you can roll under his legs when he does any high attacks. So he's pretty easy to get through. Cool, so after that, to save time, obviously we're going to go back down to the bonfire. Obviously you can use a home and bone if you want to go a little bit faster. Cool, so we're going to use this, in fact no, we're not going to use this because we haven't even rested, that's fine. So feel free to use this to transport back to the bonfire that we came from, because we are going to be heading back down, but because obviously I've not rested, these slugs aren't at the bottom of here and this will be just as fast. So down the ladder we go. So if you are coming back from the original bonfire, there's the bridge for it just there. You can't really get lost. Let's just check. Yeah, you got the arm out there. Cool. So, as I was saying, you can't really get lost. You just literally come straight down the bridge, and you come over this way. Now, heading up this way, you're going to want to go up this path on the left. One of the dream chasers is going to be up here, and you want to kill him before he kind of gets to activate his underlings down here. Now, ability to do this, kill. Now these ones like literally won't aggro on you until you attack them, but there are a lot. So if he manages to activate all of these, you are probably going to die. He or she, it could be either. Cool. So next, I'm going to head up this way, straight up the hill. We've got the dark wraiths. Now if you stand, just stand still, they'll patrol forward and they will actually go and attack some enemies that are directly in front of us, so you can use those to clear out the area ahead if you wish to. These are also good for farming up some pretty good gear from. Their armour and weapon is pretty good, so feel free to do that. But before you kind of pick a fight with them, you want to come to the right into here, where we have another bonfire, and this will serve as your checkpoint before the boss fight. So rest of this, get yourself all reset. Next off, you're going to want to come down here. Now ignore this dude for a second. You're going to come over to the right, drop out of here. You're going to have two items. There will be a hollow gem on this guy, and I can't actually remember what the second one was. I think it was atonement. So from there, be aware. Like, I'm just going to show that you can't actually just walk back up because it was a drop down. So from there, you just want to homeward bone back. Cool. So now it's going back to the bonfire. We can do these with these few enemies that are just over this way. Not really too much trouble, as long as you take them quick enough. This guy, I'll take you on. For some reason when you do that, it switches your target level while they stand up. It's really weird. Cool, so those two taken down. Over this way, you're going to find a giant crystal lizard. I think it's about here. Now what I do is I bait it and I take it back to the bonfire because it's a nice open space. Like fighting it in this little confined corridor is quite difficult, so I take it back over there, over to the bonfire, and then fight it over in that way. Further along you're going to find, where is it? I can't see where the corpse is. It should be somewhere around here. You'll find Great Magic Weapon. It's a pretty good spell. And then this little door here is back to the Road of Sacrifices. Oh, just got ourselves into some trouble. So once you've got all that sorted, you've got all your items, and this area is cleared. I'm going to go back over to this way. And again, reset yourself on the bonfire because there's not really any reason not to. So, at this point, obviously if you haven't defeated the boss like I have, unfortunately, now is a good time to go and talk to Yol and take his 5 free levels. Do that and he'll die. That will trigger a character called Uria to appear in Filing Shrine, and she, if you talk to her and exhaust her dialogue, you have an NPC summon appear right here, which is the Pale Shade, which was the guy that invaded us earlier in Fahrenkeep, and that is probably the strongest NPC summon that I've used. As you saw, he was quite difficult to deal with. Now, as a summon, he actually comes with Estus flasks as well, and he's just an absolute beast and destroys. Well, he basically destroys the boss on his own, so feel free to take him in with you as well. I'm going to let these guys patrol on ahead of us for the moment. My approach was up over on the left hand side just there, but if you go over to the right, there's an ember you can collect if you want to go and grab that. I'll show that in a second. We're not going to clear all these enemies out, being as we're here. But as you can see, those guys are all going to get into a fight. They're immune to poison, which tells us not to use our poison mist on them. So I'm just going to let them go ahead and forward. Also, a pretty easy way to get souls means you can literally just rest at the bonfire, let these guys kill stuff, and you get like 100 odd souls a time they kill something for free, and you still get the drops from the enemies. Then you can go ahead and finish the Dark Braves for their gear too. Now, when I came over here, directly in front of where I am on that flat piece of paving just there, I actually got, oh wow, he's aggroed on me for quite a while. So let me lower this light. Cool. Wow, look at that. So these guys, as always, pretty mean. Start Reef down for a quick cracked red eye orb. Seems this guy's restored Estus flasks though, which is pretty cool. So, being serious now a little bit clear. Like, I had a summon sign appear just here that I've never had before for, what was his name? Blackhand Gotthard or something like that. So feel free to summon him in. He wasn't particularly strong, but he did serve as a decent distraction for the boss while I tried to use fireballs on it. Now note that fireballs are actually pretty useful against this guy, which I wasn't expecting. So feel free to throw fireballs at him. I was expecting him to be resistant to fireballs in this boss fight because he uses fire. Now, if you are on good terms with Cirrus and haven't tried summoning anybody else, her summon sign should appear around here somewhere. So keep an eye on that if you've progressed Cirrus's quest line. It isn't required that you summon her to progress her quest line, as we'll be seeing her later on anyway. It's provided that you don't join the Rosarius Covenant. Cool, that's all the enemies cleared out. As you can see, that one Dark Wraith for the end part there wasn't too much of a challenge for those guys on his own. I believe the ember that you can collect is around here somewhere. It's usually a corpse, so sometimes you can find where you pick stuff up from. But it is around this area. If you come over to this right side, you'll see it fairly easily. Okay then, so I suppose I can give a little bit of explanation about the boss. The first stage of the boss is pretty easy, especially if you bring a summon in. Just let the summon kind of tank all the damage. Keep a lock on the very first enemy that appears, as that is the only one that actually takes boss damage. The other ones are kind of extras, as these guys fight each other as well as you. But you want to try and keep track of the guy that's actually kind of progressing the boss fight, rather than using up all of your Estus and stuff on something that doesn't matter. Once you take down his first bar of health, and it is the whole bar of health, it will start a second bar of health. So he does in fact have 2 full stages that you can't try and skip past. Once that happens, he goes all kind of fiery and flamey. Just try and dodge his attacks and get like one swing in or one spell in between any of his attacks that have long cooldowns, and you shouldn't be too bad. Now, just to make sure, because I can't remember whether or not I leveled at the end of the last video, and I think I must have done because I don't have many souls. So, just so you guys can see what level I've ended up at and what stats I've got, that is how we are looking at the moment. So, pretty healthy with 21 vigour, 21 endurance, 17 attunement, strength still at 12, dexterity at 9, intelligence and faith both at 21. Again, really sorry that I couldn't show the footage, guys. I hope this still manages to help you kind of with the final areas of Farron Keep before we go down into the Catacombs of Carthus. Once I've finished the walkthrough, I'll try and recreate it, but I really don't know how I actually got that summon to appear because I've not seen him before. So yeah, with that, again, I can't stop saying sorry about it enough, guys. See you in the next video.